Kyle Shanahan loves backup quarterbacks, and every year he has a chance to get an elite quarterback and has a different reason why he doesn't want him. This year it was Lamar Jackson and Aaron Rodgers. He was asked about each one at the owners' meetings, and he kept saying, look, and John Lynch too, but Kyle Shanahan in particular, look, like, those are great quarterbacks, but the fact that we don't want them just shows how much we love our quarterback room. He keeps talking about his quarterback room. He doesn't want an elite quarterback. He wants 3 guys that he likes who are all kind of fringe backups who are cheap and young. That's what he wants. So he didn't want Lamar Jackson. He didn't want Aaron Rodgers. A few years ago, he was thinking about maybe taking a swing at Matthew Stafford, but he took his sweet time he had to look at his film again. Like, he didn't know who Matthew Stafford was. Sean McVay beat him to the punch, won a Super Bowl. Year before that, Tom Brady called him up. Kyle was like, yeah, I like my quarterback room. I like Jimmy Garoppolo. Sorry, dude. Don't need you. He won a Super Bowl. Didn't want Patrick Mahomes. Didn't even scout him. Look, I think there's a pattern. If you have an elite quarterback and you don't win a Super Bowl for a few years, the team doesn't get rid of the elite quarterback. The team gets rid of the coach every time. So look at the Chargers. The only reason they haven't fired their coach down there yet is because they're a cheap, disgusting organization. But if they don't make the playoffs this year, pretty soon that coach is going to get fired simply because Herbert's great and they haven't won the Super Bowl. Those are real expectations on the Chargers. Kyle doesn't want those expectations. Kyle's always in the position where he doesn't have a quarterback. So if he makes it to the NFC Championship game, wow, what an accomplishment. He did it without a quarterback. And if he wins a Super Bowl, it's like, wow, he's the greatest coach of all time. He did it without a quarterback. It's a built-in excuse every year, the no quarterback excuse. Wow, look at how well he can do without an elite quarterback. Who cares? He's the one that doesn't want an elite quarterback. He's the one that finds a reason not to bring an elite quarterback onto the team every year. Oh, we don't want Aaron Rodgers because we like Brock Purdy. Sure, great. Now, Robert Saleh has Aaron Rodgers. And you have excuses. So you can have this job for the next 20 years, and people will say, man, what a great job Kyle Shanahan did without ever having a quarterback. Like, it's not his responsibility to find an elite quarterback. Like, it's not a huge gap in his skill set. Kyle Shanahan does a lot of great things, but he seems to not only not be able to find elite quarterbacks, but not even want them. He seems like averse to elite quarterbacks because they raise the expectations to a place he doesn't want them. He's like the Billy Bean of quarterbacks. He wants money ball. Billy Bean never won a championship, but everyone says he's great because he doesn't have much money to work with. Like LeBron James, everyone says he's the greatest basketball player of all time because he hasn't had great teams to be on. He's never had the right supporting cast. Like, he hasn't put the teams together himself. It's always an excuse with these guys. So Kyle, go find the elite quarterback. If it's not, you got to find if one of these 3 guys can be elite this year. Because if it's not, you got to find a new guy next year. Is it Dak Prescott? Is it because there's going to be an elite quarterback who becomes available, and you're the team that should be getting him. So you need to find out if it's Trey. You need to find out if it's Brock. You need to find out if it's Sam now. And I'll tell you something. The one guy who has a chance to be elite of those 3, you know who it is. It's the guy you gave up 3 first-round picks to get. So don't pivot right away. And the thing about Kyle, I keep saying he loves backup quarterbacks and he's averse to real talent. Well, someone who would disagree would say, well, why did he trade up for Trey then? Yeah, you got me. I don't know. He traded all those picks for Trey, used him like a running back, panicked after 3 games, and pivoted to a 25-year-old retread at the end of his rope in Sam Darnold, backup, and the last pick in the draft, backup. So he tried for a second to get out of his comfort zone, didn't like it, and scurried back to his comfort zone. You can't deny that. So I don't get it, but I think I do understand why Kyle Shanahan loves these Brian Greasy types. His dad loved him too. Remember, his dad won Super Bowls with Steve Young and John Elway. 1 with Steve, 2 with Elway. Isn't in the Hall of Fame because he couldn't take the credit. It's all about credit with the Shanahans and legacy. Can you take credit if your quarterback is John Elway? No. But who cares? You get the ring. Shanahans haven't had a ring since the 90s.